So, the topic for today is the whole decentering men conversation. At first, I was like, "Whoa, this is such a good concept." Like, yes, don't center your life around a man, right? But the girlies have taken it too far this way. Okay, this is my hot take about decentering men. It's very contradictory that the girlies are like, decenter men, decenter men. Even the process of you talking about, oh, we're going to decenter men, is centering men because, like, men are always the topic of conversation. I think the most appropriate way to decenter men is to stop making content surrounded by men. You can make content surrounded by like your hobbies and things like restaurants and lifestyle and everything that has absolutely nothing to do with the band. That is true decentering. And I understand that kind of trying to set the tone, being like, hey, this is what I'm gonna start doing, right? But I'm like, don't say what you're about to do, just do it. Like, no one's gonna give you a consolation prize for not having men as the center of your life, you know? And like, I don't think I've ever fully decentered men because I am heterosexual and I would like a relationship with a man. So there's no way I can not center men in my life. If I'm as someone who wants a relationship with a man, you can never decenter men. Like it's they just need a new buzzword to kind of get the ball rolling. They ran out of something to talk about, you know. And I think they're like, oh, these red pill guys, they suck. They're horrible people, right? But I'm like, do you realize that you're literally doing the same thing? Because the red pill kind of started with like guys being like, oh, well, we're just gonna stop like centering women in our lives. We're gonna stop being simps, blah, blah, blah. We're gonna go our own way. That is exactly what these women are doing. And like, it is further dividing and like perpetuating this gender war. And I'm like, you guys, you like each other. I don't understand. Like, okay, it's just like there are some bad people out there. There are some good people out there, right? All you can do is try to be the best person you can be. I'm an advocate for like focusing on yourself, right? And like focusing on your hobbies and your career growth and like achieving your goals, like any goals that you set. I'm 100% supportive of that. But to say, let's decenter men and continue to date men, continue to put men in your schedule for dates, and with like the kind of the goal of getting into a relationship of being like, I'm happy being single too. I'm like, you guys, please don't be don't sour grip the situation and say, I don't even want a man. Like, okay, it's just the result of being very jaded. And of course, like I have dealt with my fair share of hurt in the past, but I don't think I ever let it like really harden me. And okay, like the more you open yourself up, the more you can get hurt and all that other stuff. But like, listen, if you're like jaded your whole life and you're like, I will never love a man, like all the men are horrible and they're trash, that is like all you're gonna attract. Like it's honestly about like law of attraction and stuff like that. Because if you start to see men in a different light, and or not, because don't get me wrong, men do be men. It's true, men be men, and it's just the way you kind of react to it, you know, like because I'm not saying excuse men by any means. Of course, hold them accountable. They're always like, women are never accountable. Hold men accountable when they do something wrong. But when you hold them accountable, let that be the last time you speak to that man, because he knows what he's doing. Don't try to psychoanalyze him and figure out, oh, why is he doing this? Oh, he's a narcissist, blah, 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 blah. Just be like, hey, I didn't like when you did that. And keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. Because there's like no reason. I literally almost crashed. Anyway. This is not funny. Okay. Yeah, so just keep it pushing. Now, this is all a load of BS. Because you can like decenter men, and I'm putting up air quotes. You can decenter men and still be in a relationship. You can decenter men and still be in a marriage. Like, I'm like, oh, someone crashed. That was about to be me, though. Oh, oh my goodness. Oh my god. Anyway, the act of decentering is like, just stop talking about them so much. When you hang out with your girlfriends, don't talk about guys. Don't be like, oh, this guy I'm dating, or like, oh, my boyfriend, or my husband, or my fiance, da 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 da. Let's talk about other stuff, like get a hobby, girl. Start painting, write a book, do something else. Don't be like Jada. Don't write a book about your man. Like that's not what I'm telling you to do. But just talk about other stuff. And there's so many other things to talk about. You could talk about gardening. You can talk about like the financial state of our country. You could talk about so many things. You could talk about makeup. You could be like, oh yeah, I tried this new blush. Just talk about just things that women want to talk about. Like talk about TV shows. You could talk about your goals and say, hey, like, I want to do this. And be like, and your friend be like, yes, girl, hype, hype, hype. That is real decentering men. Decentering men is not talking about, yeah, I'm decentering men. And this is why, because this person said that their husband doesn't pick up his socks off the floor and he's a lazy piece of crap. And if you want to deal with lazy pieces of crap, you can go ahead and you all are pick me shots. And you know what? My other hot take is that I don't think non-black women should be talking about pick me shit this, pick me shit that, because what the hell? You don't ish or nothing. No one in your culture has an ishin, isha suffix on their name. So I think they need to. They're just stealing people's words. I swear. I'm like, culture vultures. Damn. Can we have something? And the thing is, like, why don't they just call them pick me's? Because, like, that's kind of what it is, right? But when a black woman coined the term pick Nisha, everyone wants like coin. Like, yeah, I don't want to be a pick Misha. Excuse me? And then it's kind of like the same thing, like, oh, bye, Felicia. Girl, you're not down with the culture. Like, anyway, that's this topic for another day. Talking about culture vulture as I'm like drinking my pumpkin spice latte. Look, yeah, culture vultures. But am I pick me? I don't know. Because like the thing is, like, I'm not like, oh, would it be picked by a man? So bad. Because some men are truly not worth being picked up. It's like the right kind of man. If it's someone like that I like, okay, yeah, pick me. I'm not gonna go above and beyond. I'm gonna literally do the bare minimum. And if you don't like me, then I'm not gonna go jump through hoops and like be like, oh, I just want this guy to like me so bad. Okay, if you don't like me, oh, that's fine. I actually encourage that. I'd be like, okay, cool, because then I can like have a friend. Like, I need more friends, you know, like. But like I don't. I used to take it like too hard when someone didn't like me. Like if I like someone, and they didn't like me back. I would be like, I can't believe they didn't like me back. I would be so pot. I'm like, oh my god, like what's wrong with this person? He's mean. He's horrible. Why doesn't he like me? He just don't like your ass. That's it. He just don't like you. And and that's okay. Because like there's just certain things that don't necessarily make sense. Like if you see someone one time and they literally don't even like acknowledge your existence or even know that you're there, how can they just be in love with you? You know what I mean? Like try to get to know people. And I made a different like video about this, about like just actually getting to know people instead of being like, Oh, I like them. I have a crush on that. Like, okay, yeah, like you think someone's attractive? Yes, of course. There's so many attractive people in the world. But to go as far as to say, oh, like I'm in love with this person, da 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 da, it ain't weird much. And just really just get with people who you like are like surrounded by. And this is a topic for another conversation about people who are equally yoked to you. I really have to make that video because some people be shooting above their range. They be shooting above their range. They're trying to make 3-pointers, but they're only in the 2-point range. So I'm gonna end the video here, and I'm gonna go over and start that video. You can check it out if you want. But decentering men, put your comments down below. And what do you think about decentering men? Are you gonna decenter men? Are you gonna keep it in the forefront of your mind, or are you gonna focus on yourself and focus on hobbies and your own personal growth and your own development and confidence and just like overall like your well-being in life? Great idea, right? But it's just not being executed in the way like that it should be. Goodbye for now.